Oh, next time, go to some place like Home Depot or Lowe's and pick up a new Kohler toilet. Pull the parts out of the box. And you might need help pulling the toilet bowl out of the box, but it does include the toilet seat and the wax ring, which you might need an extra wax ring depending on the height of the toilet drain pipe. I like to use some chemicals to clean the edge of the toilet flange here for good adhesion of the wax ring. I have two wax rings here. I have the cheap factory one that is not reinforced, and I have another wax ring that I purchased that is reinforced and has that black inner cone there to go help everything go down the toilet drain. I take the cheap wax ring here and I break it into a couple of pieces here, so that way I can end up using some of the wax to just smear it around the edge of the drain flange here. And this cheap wax ring stuff smears pretty easily. I'm basically using it like glue on top of wood, so I want to get a good bond. I've actually seen good wax rings not bond to the plastic just because somebody relied solely on trying to just smush it into place. So I'm making positive contact with this cheap wax ring material. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take some more of this cheap wax here and smear it on the bottom of the toilet. That way we also have some good adhesive on the bottom of the toilet as well. Yeah, feel free to just load up that wax all the way around here. Next, take your good wax ring on and put it on top of the bottom of the toilet here, and then smush it into place a little bit. You can see with the wax that you used from the cheap ring is now easily helping to hold this wax ring with the seal in place. Next, go ahead and take your toilet bolt here with the white plastic washer already on it. Slip it into the slot there and then tighten up that plastic washer where you're pulling the bolts up and pushing the plastic washer down. Next, go ahead and lower the toilet on top of the bolts here in the drain hole. Next, take your white washer here that has this side up on it, place it on top of here, and then take your washer and your nut and place it on top of the bolt and tighten it down by hand first on both sides. Once you got it about as tight as you can by hand, that's when you can go ahead and take your adjustable wrench here and maybe give it like a quarter turn, half turn. You definitely don't want to tighten it too much, otherwise you can crack the porcelain toilet. This is just enough to hold the toilet in the down position, not supposed to keep it moving from left to right. That's what the silicone caulking is for. And go ahead and tighten up the other side here about a quarter turn to a half a turn. Make sure you don't break the toilet porcelain. Next, you can install the white plastic cap to cover the bolts and push it down. And these three bolt holes here with these flat washers and nuts go to this toilet tank flange here with these three studs. Next, lower your tank on top of your toilet. Pushing from the inside of the tank on the bolt head, take the washer and the nut and evenly place them on the three bolt holes of the toilet. Your toilet might have two bolt holes on the toilet tank, and then use your finger to spin it around. So evenly tighten them up as you go around. To tighten up the toilet tank bolts, you can use this adjustable wrench here, a 7/16 open end box wrench or a 7/16 nut driver, whichever one you have. I prefer to use a nut driver, but oddly enough, this toilet is using 1/2-inch nuts. So just a little bit of turns, just gently with your finger. And you come over here to the other side and tighten this one up, just gently by hand. And don't forget to get the one in the back. Next, we can go ahead and hook up the toilet hose to both the tank and to the water supply valve here. So that's tightened there. Let's tighten that nut up. And then make sure that this nut is tight. Oh, next it's time to install the seat. Just go ahead and take your utility knife here Carefully cut through the plastic without cutting or scratching any of the plastic. Remove this plastic here covering the toilet seat. This little blue package here is for the little bolts and caps and so on. So let's go ahead and break into that. Guess I don't need this glove anymore. Whew. Somebody's using the toilet in the other room. You can hear it through the drain. Okay, let's put these, got the bolts, I got the two pieces that go on the bottom of the toilet itself here on the back, and then we got this, which is a rubber bumper that goes in the front of the toilet lid, so might as well put that in now while we got it right here. Okay, and then of course the two washers. So we want to put the bolt right through this washer here. And of course that is going to go right here on this part, right through there, just like that. Okay, got the bolt right through the washer and right through the top of that lid. And then we're going to take this from the bottom side. So we got the bolt right through the top here with the washer. And then we have this piece here right at the bottom of the toilet here. In the beginning, we can just go ahead and spin it like this, but on the top side, we're gonna need either a standard slotted screwdriver or a Phillips. Whatever you have will work. Holding the plastic wing nut with one hand on the bottom side here and the bolt sticking up, go ahead and tighten the bolt all the way down on both sides. With everything but your toilet tank lid installed, go ahead and turn on the water supply here. And you'll see the water coming through this hose here into this space and filling up the bottom of the tank with water, also coming through this pipe down to the bottom. So let it go ahead and fill all the way up and then check every place along the bottom and the tank for any leaks. Now it's time to put on the toilet tank lid and then test things out. I know this looks like I'm sitting on the toilet playing with my caulk, but it's 100% silicone caulk, so don't worry. Be happy. You want to go around the toilet with some 100% silicone caulk. Fill it in the joint between the tile and the toilet base here. Carefully, don't overdo it. I'm not trying to make a mess here. And then we can go ahead and push it kind of into the joint. So here we go. That's part of it. After I got part of this toilet caulked here, I'm going to go ahead and take my finger and squeeze that white 100% silicone caulk into the toilet, the space between the base and the tile there. You can always take a putty knife here if you kind of squish a little bit too much, and then just clean up that edge just like that. Keeping your putty knife clean so you don't goop it up in other areas. Gives you a nice clean look. Continue to apply the caulking around the base of the toilet here. Squish it. Squish it real good. And then finally, you can take the silicone caulking on the other side here. Make sure you don't use anything like that says siliconized caulk. Make sure you use stuff that says 100% caulk. Oh my goodness, Carl, what have I done? I've just made a complete mess out of this whole thing. But I'll tell you what, after you've applied the silicone around here, smush it in with your finger, take your putty knife here and scrape it off. Clean it up every once in a while so you don't continue to drag the mess. And then clean it up off the side of the toilet. You'll get it there, don't worry. Back and forth on the toilet side and on the floor. And don't sweat it. If you need to touch up a spot along here, you can squeeze whatever amount of silicone you want and then just go ahead and push it into the space here. Once again, I can take the putty knife here like that along the tile, squeeze off a little bit of excess. If you need to go vertically to clean up something, that's great. Do whatever you gotta do, but I can always make this white silicone caulking look great. Take a partial piece of paper towel here and wipe off any excess silicone that might have got on the toilet tank base. Alright, looking pretty great. You need to remember something. 100% silicone caulk for sealing the base of the toilet to the actual tile floor. None of the siliconized stuff. The siliconized stuff will get dirty looking over time. Meanwhile, the 100% silicone will stay intact, not dry out, crack, shrink, etc. And it'll look just as good as the day you installed it. Well, here the toilet is all done being installed. We got that stainless braided line here with a brand new valve, brand new stub out pipe, escutcheon, all of that. It is caulked to the floor, nice and neatly, tight to the bowl on both sides, of course, and works like a charm. This is the Kohler. Not too bad.